And just final part today is this attachments and submission. So if you managed to design your project, to make nice partnerships and manage to fill in the application in our system, then you need also attach some additional documents. Although I would suggest that don't leave it into very last moment. Try to get these documents in quite good time before the deadline, and be aware that all these attachments must be in the application when you are submitting, and that you don't forget anything. And what are these documents then? The first here, a letter of intent, and actually it is only for regular projects first step. So small project would need letter of intent only in that case if you have associated partner in your project. So the associated partner needs to give this letter of intent. The idea of the document is that project partner declares that yes, he knows about the project and he is interested in to participate. And the same thing is needed for regular projects first step. And actually in first step, it is only attachment what is needed. All other document attachments are for second step. So, but in first step, all partners need to give this letter of intent signed by somebody from the organization. It doesn't have to be official person who has legal right to sign the document, something like mayor of the city or something like that. My department head or somebody who would be connected with the project is enough. And main idea is that yes, we really want to cooperate. And then other attachments are needed for both small and regular projects. And first one, this confirmation letter. This is actually only document what we need to have on paper, because the confirmation letter is with original signature of the lead partner, proving that they have filled in the application and they submitted the application to our program. Why it's on paper? In all our countries, the digital signature is not used yet, so we need original signature, and the only possibility right now is still on the paper. So you need to mail this letter by regular post to us, and the date on the envelope must be latest the date of this submission date, date of our call deadline, and for small projects it is 23rd of October, and for regular projects it will be 1st of April next year. But again, don't leave it on the very, very last day and send these papers a little bit early as well, just to ensure that everything is fine and correct. So, what else? Co-financing statement must be presented by all partners. And the idea is that you state, the partner states here the amount what they will put into the project. So it's only, there is a amount of co-financing, it is sum what your organization will put in the project. We have seen in previous calls that as this on the co-financing statement, there is sum is divided by public money and private money. So some partners have understood that public is ERDF. No, ERDF is not here in this co-financing statement at all. It's total sum what your organization will put in, and private or public, it's according to the organization legal statute, or maybe some money comes from other source, that some private organization maybe supports the partner to participate in, or something like that. But it's not about the ERDF. So all these templates are in our web page, so you can find templates and fill it according to that, so you don't need to design them by yourself. Document verifying who has a right to sign on behalf of the lead partner organization. So some document needs to approve that person who signed, for example, confirmation letter is really has legal right to do it. So these are that kind of must-be documents, and then some other attachment what may occur in different cases. For example, declaration of financial capacity that proves that the organization is capable to participate in the project. It is for NGOs, non-government organizations. Others, public organizations don't need to present that thing. These projects who are applying lump sums, what Tiina just talked about, so there is a special template what you can use, and this methodology of the lump sum is described there, and that document should be attached as well. The Minimis Declaration, if you know that your activity and support from ERDF would fall under the state aid rules, then you need to present the Minimis Declaration saying how much similar public support you have got during last 3 years. And the point is that within 3 years you can't get more than 200,000. So if you are applying from us, for example, 50,000 as ERDF, then in this Minimis Declaration, it can't be visible that you haven't got more than 150,000 within that period, what will cover this 3-year period. Verification of jurisdiction and role of partners located outside program area. It's a very rare case probably, but it may happen that some project partner is outside of the program area. But it's in such case where its legal address is outside of program area, but his real activities are towards the program area, and every day they work is in this main area. And for example, some maritime agency located somewhere in North Sweden, for example, with the state agency, for example, responsible for all maritime issues along the Swedish coast. There is no other such organization, and no, that's one example of that. Supporting documents for investments. You should find out yourself what kind of documents are needed, what are according to the law in your own country. There are different permits, construction permits, some environmental permits maybe, and so on. So documents that approve that you are allowed to make these investments, and that we would be convinced that really this your planned thing, planned work can be done there. It's not very well defined list of documents, but it's according to the different cases, and probably it's very much connected with municipalities and regions and they permits and legislation. So from here, I guess main thing, confirmation letter on paper and letter of intent only for first step regular project. So, yeah, that's about attachments. We wouldn't like to see, or let's put it stronger, we don't like to see big attachments of explaining documents on your project. All the assessment will be done according to the data provided in the application form in EMS system. Use these boxes, these possibilities. As Ulari already said in the morning, don't repeat the same story in different boxes. Just use the possibility to give us more information. And it really should be enough for assessment and decision making. If something is missing, we can and will ask you. Yeah, and as here the last sentence says that even if there are some kind of big explanatory documents, assessors will not use them in the assessment process. And it seems that now you are almost done with your application form, and just a few things before submission. If you push the button submit, then you can't take it back. So it's important that you check all the numbers, all the information what you have inserted. Try to understand the logic of activities, deliverables, and money what you have inserted, that they are really match with each other. And yeah, look through the guide for filling the application, of course, and then also the program manual. Even before the submission, read about the assessment and so on, that if you have filled in everything already, that you are really now Put yourself in a position of assessor who maybe, not maybe, but certainly will see this data first time and doesn't understand about idea anything, because one thing is assessors are people in our joint secretariat who have hopefully consulted the project. We know something, of course, but people who are actually decision makers of steering group, people from our countries, they don't know the background of the project at all. So it must be filled in the way that stranger would understand what you want to do and should be convinced that you are really doing good thing. So a little bit repeating again that the project or data what you have inserted now is relevant to the area needs, it's clear need for cooperation, contributes to objectives, results, outputs, partners are relevant, logical, realistic, well-defined, and rules are clearly divided. And now you can submit, and the deadline for the first step and of regular projects and small project is 3:00 p.m. Finnish time on October 23rd. There is one more button what to push is check saved project. Even if you have saved already and you are thinking you are fine, then you can check it once more, and then there is a submit button. Then you can't take it back anyway. But again, don't forget to push the submit button. We have doubt that somebody from previous call maybe forgot it. So if you haven't submitted, then it won't be seen as final application, and it is lost basically. With these buttons, I guess we didn't repeat it today that always use the save button. System doesn't automatically save the information what you are inserting, even switching between different blocks there. If you are in work package, for example, filling in some activities, and I don't know why, going to, for example, budget, and you haven't pushed the save button before, and you will lose all this what you have filled in this previous sheet. So the save button is on the left-hand side up. Always you need to scroll up there and save it. So applications will be submitted via MS, as we said. Confirmation letter sent by post. And then we will assess it. And at first, this technical admissibility check will be done. It means that we check that all required attachments are in place, that all information is inserted, what is needed for that phase. If something is missing, we ask question. We hope that it won't happen, but if something is forgotten, we ask it, and you will be given about 1 week to present some missing part, but we didn't have them much actually. And then after that, in our joint secretariat, we will assess each project in tandem. At least 2 people will read and assess. We make our own evaluation inside the organization, and then it will go to steering committee, who will also assess the possibility to read all the projects and design their position, and they will decide it in January next year, when final decision will be for small projects, and approval for first step will be for regular projects. And after that, deadline for second step is April the 1st. Call will be opened, or application is open, February and March. And now then here this in second step, regular projects need to be attached. All this attachment would be we were talking about, except this letter of intent. And final decisions will be done in June next year. It means that first day when your regular project can be started is July 1st. So first day after the month of steering committee meeting. Of course, maybe it's wise to plan to start a little bit later, because at 1st July is holiday month for many people, and another thing is that as we saw in from the first call, quite many conditions are set for projects as well, although they are approved, but different conditions and some technical things should be done and changed before the official contract can be signed, and all these procedures will take some time, at least 1 month, and so maybe better to plan the starting in August or September. Or if you have very tight timetable, of course, you can start from July as well, even if the official contract is not signed. But it's on your own risk that if you really fulfill all conditions and so on, then of course your costs will be eligible already from the July. And right now our work plan for the program is that third call will be in year 2017, starting from January. So if you have questions, please contact us. Don't be afraid, don't be modest. Call us or send us email if you have content-related questions. Again, from the first call, experience that in some cases it seems that some project were, I don't know, were they afraid or didn't contact us enough or at all, especially before the first call, and did good work, but not very well focused for our program. So better to consult and ask. And also all these EMS questions, if you have trouble, don't be afraid. Call us, send email. and we try to help. We will help. Why I'm saying trying, because we are still learning ourselves the system, and it's actually ongoing development, unfortunately, right now with it. So, but anyway, we will find the answer for you. If you have strictly technical questions about EMS and then some functionality doesn't work and but it's not content related, then you should send email to this technical support with this EMS at Central Baltic. But you can forward it to project managers as well. And yeah, basic thing, what is EMS at all? It's this monitoring system what is developed for the all Europe for Interreg programs and developed with different programs right now, and not all Interreg programs start to use it. We have decided to use it. Irrelevant fields. That's the thing. What was mentioned also, that hopefully all fields what are not relevant for in first step will not be visible, or at least will be closed. In previous period or previous call, there were some problems that some additional or future field could be were opened and was able to fill, but let's hope that it's not the case anymore. But just in case, be aware that in some cases try to understand yourself what is relevant for your work right now in this phase. And of course, it's don't forget this manual for filling in the application form. We have redesigned it for this call a little bit, and it is separately small project and regular project are separate parts, and follow your parts and steps what are written here, and then you can understand also what is really needed for first step, what not. And EMS is used can be used in these browsers what are listed here, and registering, of course. If you haven't started yet, then you need to register as a user. Recommend that lead partner will fill in the application, but partners need to be registered as well, and then lead partner registers these partners. Lead partner gives access to partners for the application according to this username what this partner will use. So I guess it's at least from prepared slides. This was the last one. Thank you very much for participating here, being long day here, and also thank you for people who looked our presentation via internet. Now, if you have any questions, we have a few minutes.